did see tracks of a giraffe heading up this road this morning and actually called it in on the radio because giraffe are fairly rare in these parts and can be useful. So I'm guessing this is the tracks of the same individual that we did see heading up this road, but a lot earlier this morning. He sure is focused on us. Nothing to worry about here. We come in peace. Unless he's looking at a leopard that's slinking through the bushes behind us, which would be funny. Cape turtle doves are having a serious calling match in the background. For those of you that were watching yesterday afternoon, you'll notice how much browner this is than the large male that we saw yesterday that had really almost black colored patches. And they really do look impressive when they are dark, although this guy is flawless. He's a young bull. I think he will grow a little bit more, but he's in great condition. Incredible running style, and it looks like they're in slow motion, but it is certainly not the case, because with those long legs they cover huge amounts of territory very quickly. You'll notice those two ossicones are bald on the top. That's also an indicating factor that it is a male. The females would have black hair tufts on the top of those ossicones. You'll also notice on this bull, a question from yesterday was asking about the little bumps or knobs on the head of a large giraffe, and this one evidently doesn't have those very prominent knobs, and I think they do become more prominent as the bulls tend to start fighting more as they get older. And there's these knobs that kind of form behind those horn-like structures or ossicones, two behind there and one on the front, and you can see kind of one on the forehead there, but I think that is part of the structure of their skull that becomes pronounced with a lot of fighting. Well, we'll leave this beautiful bull. He's about to disappear into some thicker vegetation, and Marc has found something that you will like to see, I have no doubt. So, Alex, over to Marc whenever you're ready.
It seems like as Scott found a giraffe, so did I, but unfortunately she's moved quite deep into some bush here. She's a big wallow. There's a buffalo thorn. Eat that, yes, the buffalo thorn. Beautiful. She's got a really beautiful marking, or rather coat. Some fork-tailed drongos in attendance that are following her. Hang on. I was trying to get into a better position, but I've got obstacles that are forcing me to almost go towards her, and I don't want her to think that I'm... But that should be good enough. Greetings, you're eating tambuti, are you? You know what that would do to my stomach? Fantastic big giraffe, gosh. An old man. There's a lot of calcium build up on his face. We can see how over his eyes and what's it, I forget the name of it, but that build up of calcium on his forehead, called a rostral crest or something. I forget. The latex, the milky latex of this plant that he's eating is very poisonous to us. And I have been asked the question before whether if animals will eat something that's poisonous to us, whether it's poisonous for them. There's your answer. Nyala won't eat the fresh leaves. Nyala will only eat the leaves once they've fallen off the tree and they've dried. Here's your tree of the day, young lad.
I was going to ask you what this was.
This lovely spread out, probably almost all one tree. Okay, have a close look at the leaf. There's a smaller version of another tree.
Looks closest to a scotia or a gardenia.
I'm very impressed. Scotia is spot on. It's a scotia. So, it is the dwarf scotia.
Dwarf scotia, well that's fitting.
The Scotia capitata. The dwarf booby.
Capitata.
And when this is in flower, it's even prettier than the big booby.
Scotia capitata.
Scotia capitata, your tree of the day.
Probably from the giraffe.
Yes, we got distracted by a tree. He's stretching, trying to get as high as he can. Probably no other giraffe that can reach that high. He has his own trophic level to enjoy. I think if I stood next to him, I'd come up to his armpit. We could do that size comparison thing again without moving the car. If he moves away, if I could find a spot to park that we can see more of him. She's disappeared into thick bush. She's on a path, almost a straight line path towards Gari Dam, Juma Waterhole. And I'm pretty sure that she'll end up there at some point. Interesting that she barely even glanced at him. I think he's also got a bit of a kink in his neck. And maybe it was just the way he was standing when he was looking at us. An old male like this will have had his fair share of fights over the years. He will have had his fair share of lion attacks over the years. And I think the few good scratches on his belly that could be lion. But over the years, giraffe continued to build up calcium for their bones and access into a really bigger skull than when he's in his prime. But the vertebra, in particular the neck vertebra, they take a hammering during sparring sessions. Also can see a buildup of calcium, excess of calcium, and I've noticed when a giraffe is skeletonized after it's been, where calcium grows between the two vertebrae and actually fuses them. Flashing out something. So, I was going to say, I'm not going to move the camera much, but what I'm going to do, I can't go yet, he's just behind the tree.
The door slammed, but I put the audio up so I could catch it in. It was very loud in my ear and I got a very big fright.
You lifted off the
I think I've terrorized you enough. So, we remember, folks, some of you did a wonderful size comparison with me and that magnificent big elephant bull. Well, time to do that with a big bull giraffe. And that's probably one of the biggest giraffe we are going to see. It's almost like, say what? He's looking for me, because he knows that I was walking around there. I'm here, Mr. G. Or maybe he's looking for the cow, or he's just seen her. Or maybe there's something else. Maybe me being out there was enough to spook a pride of lion that is now. Hello? You who? I'm here. You know, if you come to Africa, one of the most wonderful things that you could do when you come to Africa is actually walk with giraffe. And they're probably one of the safest animals. Well, I suppose impala are too. But they're really not aggressive. And when you're able to find giraffe in a fairly open area, you can actually walk quite close to them. Their safety zone, their danger zone, that comfort zone that they have around them is a lot greater out in the open. In this type of environment, quite clearly he is going to expand that safety zone, which is why he moved a good 50 yards from where he heard me walking through the bush to go and do a measurement comparison.